The headlines. Jonathan intervenes in Wike Fubara feud, urges collaboration. Military shut down massive Abuja shopping complex to protest assault on soldiers. Court dismisses Ndamdi Kanu's fresh bill request removal from DSS custody. And on the foreign scene, top court says ex-President Zuma not eligible for election. Hello, welcome to News Updates on Trust TV. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Now to the news. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has called for a truce in Rivers State between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, and asked both men to work together. Jonathan made the call on Monday during the flag-off of the Trans-Calabari Road in Obiakpo local government area, describing the political tension in Rivers State as worrisome. Jonathan noted that outgoing and incoming governors must know that they work for the collective interest of the citizens of the state, adding that it is critical for them to sheath their swords. Meanwhile, 2 persons have been killed in an attack at Ikachi village in Akparata local government area of Ofiumino-Hako local government area of Ebonyi State. 7 others were abducted in the incident. Spokesman of the Ebonyi State Police Command Joshua Okando on Monday said the attack, which took place on Sunday, led to the destruction of properties worth millions of naira. Police authorities in the state have also launched an investigation into the matter. The spokesman said, assuring that officers and men of the command are committed to protecting lives and properties. Ezaifium and Effium communities have been in conflict since January 2021. Meanwhile, gunmen on Sunday night killed 2 people and abducted 1 other at Okija community in Ihiala local government area of Anambra State. The incident, which occurred around 9 p.m., created tension in the area. One of those killed was a lawyer and Secretary General of the Okija Progressive Union, Peter Awa. The other was Izuchukwu Igwenaga, popularly known as Onwa. The third person who was gathered was whisked away by gunmen over what some people described as a land tussle. Meanwhile, the businessman kidnapped at Nkwo Okija while he was driving home from a function had not been identified. Anambra Police Public Relations Officer Ikenga Tochukwu is yet to issue a statement on the incident. Moving over to Abia, where the governor, Alex Oti, has condoled the Nigerian army following the tragic death of 2 soldiers in an attack by unknown gunmen, which also claimed the life of a keke operator. It was gathered that the soldier who was stationed at an outpost in Aba, Abia State, successfully repelled the attack. Eyewitness, including a tricycle operator named Chima Ibekama, recounted the panic and chaos that ensued during the attack, saying 1 soldier died instantly and another succumbed to injuries at the hospital. The incident disrupted business activities in the area, with luxury bus operators unable to load passengers due to security measures imposed by the military. The incident occurred less than a year after a similar attack on military outposts in Aba, although no death was recorded. Governor Oti, after inspecting the scene, praised the army and pledged government support in capturing the perpetrators. Brigadier General Dia of the 14th Brigade Nigerian Army assured the governor of ongoing efforts to apprehend the perpetrators who remain at large. Banex Plaza, an electronics and telecommunications gadget market in Abuja, is still under lock and key. Reports said many soldiers are found across the plaza. Some traders who assembled at a distance from the plaza were seen leaving after waiting 4 hours. Trouble started when thugs beat up some soldiers who had a minor disagreement with the trader in the plaza. The trader, who had reportedly sold a bad phone to someone who invited soldiers. Now, rather than resolve the issue amicably, the trader reportedly invited thugs with uniforms to assault the men. They descended on at least 2 soldiers and another man in mufti. The thugs, who broke into groups, slapped, kicked and beat up the soldiers. The army is yet to make a statement over the incident. Justice Inyangeku of the Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed the request by alleged terrorist negotiator Mohammed Tukumamu, seeking his transfer from the custody of the Department of State Service to the Kuje Correctional Center. Delivering the ruling on Monday, Justice Eko held that the federal government had raised the issue of incessant jailbreaks in major prisons across the country. The judge subsequently ordered Mahmoud to remain in DSS custody throughout his trial for the criminal charges against him. Justice Eko, however, affirmed his earlier order that he should be allowed to access his physicians for medical treatment with the supervision of the DSS. Mahmoud, through his lawyer, had on April 29th alleged that the order of the court made on December 19th that he be allowed access to his physician for medical treatment was not complied with by the DSS. Mahmoud was arrested at the Kanu International Airport upon his arrival from Egypt on September 6, 2022, over alleged relationship with the terrorists who attacked the Abuja-Kaduna train on March 28, 2022. Meanwhile, Justice Bita Yako of the Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed the request by the detained leader of the Biafran Nation agitators, Ndamdi Kanu, for the restoration of his revoked bail and the removal from the custody of the Department of State Service, DSS, to a house arrest or prison custody. The judge said the same request had been brought before her by Kanu, dismissing it for want of merit. In the ruling of Kanu's request, Justice Yako said Kanu had jumped the bail earlier granted him and escaped out of the country. The judge also held that the sureties who stood for him in the earlier bail had applied to be discharged and had been discharged on the ground that they could not locate Kanu and did not know his whereabouts. Justice Yako said the only option left for Kanu was to go to the Court of Appeal to exercise his right of appeal. The judge disagreed with Kanu's lead counsel that the Supreme Court held that the earlier bail granted him ought not to have been revoked, adding that she perused the Supreme Court judgment copy and did not see the claim of the lawyer.
Act says I cannot be tried in Nigeria. That's the law of Nigeria. I can never be tried in any court of law in Nigeria. That's what the law says. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committing an act of terrorism. Yes. It's very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct the trial. Is not done anywhere in the world.
Away from that, one person has reportedly dead after several properties burnt in a fire that broke out at the Bishop Crowther Memorial Seminary School, Oka, the Anambra State capital. Although the cause of the fire is yet to be ascertained, it was gathered that the incident occurred around 11:30 p.m. on Saturday. Confirming the incident in a statement from the media unit of Anambra State Fire Service, the State Fire Service Chief Chukwudi Chiketa said the remains of the students who died in the incident had been taken to a mortuary. He explained that firefighters and a fire truck were immediately deployed to the scene of the incident upon getting an alert from the school, adding that the fire had been contained. The Nigerian Air Force has donated 4 furnished and equipped blocks of classrooms to the Zamfara state government as part of its contributions to empowering young people and taking them away from negative vices. Air Officer Commanding Special Operations Command Air Vice Marshal Enobong Effium handed over the buildings at Sabongari Kaura Namoda on behalf of the Chief of Staff, Air Marshal Hussein Abubakar, as part of an activity marking the 60th anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force. While speaking at the handing over ceremony, the Commander 207 Quick Response Group of the Nigerian Air Force Gusau Group Captain Muhammad Aliyu said the idea behind donating classroom was part of the Nigerian Air Force efforts to empower the youth and take them away from indulging in bad social vices that are inimical to the peace and societal development. Secretary to the Zamfara State Government Abubakar Nakwanda, who received the 4 blocks of classroom at the Namwa Secondary School, Sabongari Kaura, thanked the force for the project, commending them for contributing to protecting Zamfara State and the country from terrorists. The State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Zamfara State, Wadatu Madaki, pledged to provide an additional block of classrooms and instructional materials to the school for teachers and students to improve the quality of teaching and learning. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted 3 days sunshine and thunderstorms from Monday to Wednesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released on Sunday in Abuja forecast sunny skies on Monday with patches of clouds over the northern region with chances of isolated thunderstorms over parts of Taraba State. Later in the day, NIMET anticipated sunny skies on Tuesday with patches of cloud over the northern region with prospect of isolated thunderstorms over parts of Adamawa, Kaduna and Taraba states later in the day. It envisaged the north-central region to be predominantly cloudy with chances of isolated thunderstorms over parts of Benue, Kogi, Kwara, Plateau and Nasarawa states. And during the afternoon and evening hours, according to NIMET, sunny atmosphere with patches of clouds is anticipated over the northern region with prospect of isolated thunderstorms over parts of Taraba, Adamawa and Kaduna during late hours on Wednesday. The agency urged the public to take adequate precaution as strong winds might precede the rains in areas where thunderstorms were likely to occur. NIMET also advised airline operators to get updated with weather reports forecasts from NIMET for effective planning in their operations. Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State has performed a groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of an 18.3 kilometers federal housing estate road network in Bajubure-Gire local government area. The governor emphasized the administration's commitment to an aggressive multi-sectoral development approach to address the state's infrastructural deficit. Gibson Saidogo reports.
An aerial view reveals the dilapidated state of the Bajabure Federal Housing Road Network, constructed over 3 decades ago. Once a robust infrastructure, it is now a shadow of its former self. This community, situated in the Gire local government area of Adamawa State, is home to thousands of middle-class and low-income earners. Their plea for improved road networks has finally been heard, and a transformative change is now underway.
It is my singular honor now to break the ground and formally flag off the construction of the Federal Housing Estate Road Network in Bajibure, Gire local government, to the glory of God and to the benefit of humanity.
Adamawa State Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri has once again taken the decisive action by initiating the construction of 18.3 kilometers of roads in and around the housing estate. The governor stated that this urban renewal effort is part of their commitment to fulfilling the 8-point agenda. He emphasized that the provision of infrastructure has consistently been a priority throughout both its first and second terms due to its immense value to the people and its critical role in the growth and development of the state.
Today's groundbreaking ceremony is our own ingenious way of providing the right solution to the problem of the inhabitants of the Federal Housing Estate in Bajabure. With this, I want to assure you that on the same day today, next year, we will be here to commission this project to the glory of God.
The Commissioner of Works and Energy Development, Adamu Atiku, highlighted the futures expected of the road networks in Bajabure Federal Housing, Yola, once completed.
The scope of work for this project is extensive and meticulously planned. The main roads, which of course is the artery main road, will stretch up to 3.5 kilometers with a 10.3 meters wide carriageway. This design will facilitate smooth and efficient transportation within the state, significantly enhancing connectivity and accessibility.
Vincent Adendu spoke on behalf of the community, expressing appreciation to the Adamawa State government for its efforts to transform Bajabure Federal Housing after decades of hardship due to poor road networks.
We have had about 5 governments since then, but none remembered us except your Excellency. This is a confirmation of the fact that you are the people's governor.
The road network construction has a time frame of 12 months. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Moving on, residents of Kanu State in northwestern Nigeria are currently struggling due to severe lack of water supply, particularly in rural areas. This crisis has forced many children to abandon their education as they must travel long distances to fetch drinking water for their families. Idris Jibrin reports.
Chalawa is a community in Kumbotso local government area of Kanu State. Apart from the community's proximity to the metropolitan city of Kanu, the 75,000 liters daily capacity treatment plant is located in the community and is called Chalawa Water Treatment Plant because the plant uses the river Chalawa from where both communities' animals and residents now drink water. According to residents, over the years, Chalawa community used to have steady supply of water with many reservoirs and water pumps all scattered around the community. There are also water boreholes, many of which are no longer working, largely due to government negligence.
We have problem
of water here more than you can think, and we have lots of children going to school. But unfortunately, all our boreholes were not even built by the government, but by individual philanthropists. Therefore, our children had to go to the river to fetch water, and in fact, many of them have stopped going to school. Malam Shehu Al-Hassan, the ward head of Chalawa Chikingari, say at the moment, his people are in a very difficult situation as many things have stopped due to the lack of these basic necessity of life, and that most of his people now relied on River Chalawa. I can tell you that in my ward alone, there are 17 boreholes, but as of today, only 3 are working. One in my house, one in Imam's house, and the other one at our school. And even these ones that are working can only pump water when there is electricity supply. We visited River Chalawa at a time when classes were in session in both primary and secondary schools and met a number of school-age children fetching water, while others were washing school uniform.
I
did not go to school today because I have to wash my father's clothes, and because there is no water in town. The managing director of the Kanu State Water Board, Engineer Garba Ahmad, said recently there is an outcry of non-availability of water within Kanu metropolitan area, but it does not affect the people outside the metropolis. He said the greater Kanu area has about 5 treatment plants supplying water under Greater Kanu, and that all are working except the Tambrawa water plant, which the government is working to revive.
Because of the public outcry and serious concern of government on the issue of water supply in the Greater Kanu area, just recently the government set up a special task force considering all people of high caliber in the water sector who are experienced, who have worked for many decades and have retired, to come together with the management of the water board to rescue the situation immediately.
Meanwhile, despite this commitment by the state government, the people of Chalawa village are still suffering to access water, even as they wait for government to provide permanent solution for their water problem. Their children at both primary and secondary schools have continued to skip schools in order to fetch water for their family. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kanu.
Nigeria's crude oil production is near 1.7 million barrels per day. The Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Melekiari, stated this while addressing stakeholders at an engagement between the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists and the NNPCL in Lagos on Saturday. Now, according to him, 1.7 million barrels per day was a boost from 1.28 million barrels reported in April. According to Kyari, the nation's crude oil production keeps dropping due to oil theft and vandalism, emphasizing the need to fight insecurity in the oil and gas sector to increase production. A disabled Nigerian man who has resided in the UK for 38 years is facing the prospect of being forcibly removed from the country by the Home Office. Anthony Olubomi George, now 61 years old, arrived in the UK at the age of 24 back in 1986 from Nigeria. Since then, he has remained in the UK and, according to report, has a clean record with no criminal convictions. In 2019, he experienced 2 strokes that had a significant impact on his ability to speak or move. According to George, he no longer has any immediate relatives residing in Nigeria. He is said to have faced numerous episodes of homelessness and admitted that he has lost track of the countless friends who have sheltered him over the years. Still on the foreign scene, South Africa's top court ruled Monday that graft-tainted former president turned firebrand opposition challenger Jacob Zuma is ineligible to stand for parliament in next week's general election. The decision will outrage Zuma's supporters and stoke fears of violent unrest in the run-up to the May 29 poll, already the most competitive since the advent of post-apartheid democracy in 1994. The top court threw out Zuma's complaint against an electoral commission decision that a previous conviction for contempt prevents him from becoming an MP, ruling that the constitution bars anyone sentenced to more than 12 months in jail. Migrants from sub-Saharan Africa are asking to be let go in order to reach Europe as tensions mount in the country over the government's handling of the migrant crisis. Migrant encampments stand as testaments to the struggles faced by many daydreaming of a better life in Europe. Protesters say they have borne the cost of tenacious effort to prevent migrants from reaching the European Union less than a year after the country brokered an anti-migration pact with the 27 bloc to better police its sea border and receive more than $1 billion in aid. Tunisian President Kais Saied has taken a hard stance against migrants, accusing them of bringing violence and crime to the country. And in sports, Simon Cletus was named man of the match in the Golden Eaglet 1-0 win against Niger Republic in Group B at the WAFU B Under 17 tournament in Ghana. Cletus, captain of the Golden Eaglet, has now won back-to-back Man of the Match award at the ongoing tournament. He first picked up the award in the coach Manu Garba-led side 0-0 draw against Burkina Faso. The Eaglets had a player sent off in the second half but held on for the important win. They will take on Togo in their final group game on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Liberia will face the Flamingos of Nigeria in the final qualifying round for the 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. The Liberians stunned Senegal 2-0 in the second leg of their third-round qualifier. They qualified on away goal rule, having lost first leg 3-1. The Flamingos trashed Burkina Faso 7-1 on aggregates to earn a place in the next round. Liberia will host the Flamingos in the first leg in Monrovia on Saturday, June 8th. The reverse fixture will hold at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, 1 week later. And on a sad note, a former Minister of Labour and Chairman of First Bank Nigeria has passed away at 82. A family source said the Oyo-born prince passed away on Sunday night at the University College Hospital, Ibadan, Oyo State. He was chairman of the board of directors of First Bank PLC and was also appointed as Minister of Labour under the interim government of Ernest Shonikon. Afonja was the chairman of the Integrated Dimensional Systems and many other companies. With that, we've come to the end of News Update here on Trust TV. Do want to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs and documentaries. My name is Lilian Ogazi. Thanks for watching and bye for now.